Hey everyone, my name is Eric. Thank you so much for checking out my review on the SYMA S6 Mini 3-channel helicopter. If you guys just want to skip straight through to the flight review, you can go ahead and click on this time stamp right here, and it'll take you to the flight review. I fly it inside and outside. And if you guys want to pick this one up, I included a link down below in the description where you guys can pick this up for around 20 bucks on Amazon. Okay, let's get into it. This is an infrared helicopter, which means it works the same way your TV remote at home does. This is a sensor, and there are 3 LED infrared lights. So this is line of sight. Usually I will never recommend flying infrared outside, simply because the light from the infrared lights, they just get lost outside. They work best when they can bounce off walls and when they don't have the sun to interfere. However, if the conditions are perfect, I was really surprised this one can actually fly outside. I just thought I'd give it a shot, and it actually does. Now, the distance you can fly from you is very limited, probably about 10 feet max. When you're flying outside, it's really important. Make sure you're keeping the lights pointed at the helicopter. Sometimes, if you do lose line of sight, it will just fall out of the sky. I've crashed this thing quite a few times, and as you can see, it looks pretty much in brand new condition. The blades look nice. There are some scuff marks, but it's really hard to tell. It is pretty durable. If you go, if you're purposely trying to slam this thing into the walls or into the ground, I would guess what's going to break is the gears inside will probably strip, and then one of the blades will stop spinning. But other than that, this thing is really sturdy. Now, the difficulty, I thought this thing was going to be a little bit easier to fly than what it really is. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would rank this about a 4. 10 being the hardest and 1 being the easiest. And the reason why is because usually the dual rotor helicopters like these are easier to fly, but for some reason this one is just, it's kind of tough. The gyro, which is this weighted part up here, I think it's just because the gyro is so heavy compared to the size of the helicopter. What happens is when you go forward or backwards, that gyro is trying to stay rigid in space, it's trying to stay steady, and the helicopter, you'll notice in the video, will start to do this kind of wobble thing. So if you're in a really tight space, that can be hard, if you're trying to stay steady and not hit the walls. But if you have a lot of space, like a large tile kitchen or living room, this thing will be really fun to fly. Flight times between 5 and 10 minutes. It really depends how you fly this thing, how aggressive you're getting with it. Another warning with such small helicopters, when you crash this thing, to make sure that it lasts a long time, one important thing that a lot of people don't do is to pull the throttle all the way back when you crash. Now, you will see me when the helicopter is flipped on its side, I will hit the throttle and I'll hit it real quick just to get it upright again. But that's quite a bit different from when you're full throttle and all of a sudden it hits the ground and your throttle's still full. That's going to really do some damage on your internal gears. So just make sure when you do crash, quickly pull back the throttle all the way down to 0. That will help increase the life of your helicopter. So if you guys want a super micro helicopter for around 20 bucks, this is going to be your best buy. There are more expensive ones that might fly a little bit better, but for 20 bucks, this thing is definitely really fun to fly. As you'll see from the video, it does fly really nice. You do have to get used to the controls. Oh, by the way, there are trim tabs. So if your helicopter is turning, make sure you trim it out really nice. I believe this button will put it in fast and slow mode. I did try testing this. I didn't notice that much of a difference, but this is supposed to be like a high and a low speed. Turning the helicopter on is pretty easy. Just flip this little switch right underneath. You'll see the light blinking, and then turn on your control. And once it stops blinking, you're all set to go. Okay, now let's get into the flight. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys liked the video, please thumbs up and subscribe. Thank you.
You better hurry.